You are proud. And love itself checks and deters the thought to say itself aloud. Oh! Parted amber and fine gold, silverly darting lunar rays. Oh! River of sweet passion rolled, down invisible nowadays, down invisible waterways. Speak! Did I wound you then, unguessed? You are proud. Always were. The racing lustres of your hair spelt out its sunny message, though the room was dusk. A rosy glow shed from an antique lamp to fall on the deep crimson of the wall, and over all the ancient grace of shawls and ivory and gems cast its glamour, till your face the eye might fall upon in rest. The tempering flower, the tropic stems, you were silent, and I too. Caressed, whisper, the racing lustres of your hair spelt out its sunny message, though the rakes and the chill clusters, and I wrap a close cloak, and is it so today? You rose gleam on the snow, my own true lover, ardently, dare not look. I never looked, so that you know. But inside keen, we laugh and call not love, now crooked. The light swerves somehow. Do you mean what? There is coldness, mix, and the chill clusters, and I wrap a close cloak. And is it so today? You rose gleam on the snow, my own true lover, ardently, dare not look. I never looked, so that you know. But inside keen, we laugh and call not love, now crooked. The light swerves somehow. Do you mean what? There is coldness, mix, and the chill clusters, and I wrap a close cloak. And is it so today? You rose gleam on the snow, my own true lover, ardently, dare not look. I never looked, so that you know. But inside keen, we laugh and call not love, now crooked. The light swerves somehow. Do you mean what? There is coldness, mix, and a chill. Oh, it is us, however, who despise a little, who pity them, for this pity's sake retire, to meditate, and by this means to achieve the power of redeeming them. He formulates lyrically this conclusion and sums up the whole, insisting finally on the value of the incident as a stepping stone to the ultimate. The Star in the Garden. Verse 1. What sadness closes in between your eyes and mine today, my queen? In dew fall of our glance, they've come and chill like, oh, it is us, however, and despise the folk, pity them, for this pity's sake retire, to meditate, and by this means to achieve the power of redeeming them. He formulates lyrically this conclusion and sums up the whole, insisting finally on the value of the incident as a stepping stone to the ultimate. The Star in the Garden. Verse 1. What sadness closes in between your eyes and mine today, my queen? In dew fall of our glance, they've come and chill like, oh, it is us, however, and despise the folk, pity them, for this pity's sake retire, to meditate, and by this means to achieve the power of redeeming them. He formulates lyrically this conclusion and sums up the whole, insisting finally on the value of the incident as a stepping stone to the ultimate. The Star in the Garden. Verse 1. What sadness closes in between your eyes and mine today, my queen? In dew fall of our glance, they've come and chill like, oh, it is us, however, and despise the folk, pity them, for this pity's sake retire, to meditate, and by this means to achieve the power of redeeming them. He formulates lyrically this conclusion and sums up the whole, insisting finally on the value of the incident as a stepping stone to the ultimate. The Star in the Garden. Verse 1. What sadness closes in between your eyes and mine today, my queen? In dew fall of our glance, they've come and chill like, oh, it is us, however, and despise the folk, pity them, for this pity's sake retire, to meditate, and by this means to achieve the power of redeeming them. He formulates lyrically this conclusion and sums up the whole, insisting finally on the value of the incident as a stepping stone to the ultimate. The Star in the Garden. Verse 1. What sadness closes in between your eyes and mine today, my queen? In dew fall of our glance, they've come and chill like, oh, it is us, however, and despise the folk, pity them, for this pity's sake retire, to meditate, and by this means to achieve the power of redeeming them. He formulates lyrically this conclusion and sums up the whole, insisting finally on the value of the incident as a stepping stone to the ultimate. The Star in the Garden. Verse 1. What sadness closes in between your eyes and mine today, my queen? In dew fall of our glance, they've come and chill like, oh, it is us, however, and despise the folk, pity them, for this pity's sake retire, to meditate, and by this means to achieve the power of redeeming them. He formulates lyrically this conclusion and sums up the whole, insisting finally on the value of the incident as a stepping stone the ultimate, the star in the garden. Verse 1. What sadness closes in between your eyes and mine today, my queen? In dew fall of our glance, they've come and chill like, oh, it is us, however, who despise a little, who pity them, for this pity's sake retire, to meditate, and by this means to achieve the power of redeeming them. He formulates lyrically this conclusion and sums up the whole, insisting finally on the value of the incident as a stepping stone to the ultimate, the star in the garden. Verse 1. What sadness closes in between your eyes and mine today, my queen? In dew fall of our glance, they've come and chill like, oh, it is us, however, who despise a little, who pity them, for this pity's sake retire, to meditate, and by this means to achieve the power of redeeming them. He formulates lyrically this conclusion and sums up the whole, insisting finally on the value of the incident as a stepping stone to the ultimate, the star in the garden. Verse 1. What sadness closes in between your eyes and mine today, my queen? In dew fall of our glance, they've come and chill like, oh, it is us, however, who despise a little, who pity them, for this pity's sake retire, to meditate, and by this means to achieve the power of redeeming them. He formulates lyrically this conclusion and sums up the whole, insisting finally on the value of the incident as a stepping stone to the ultimate, the star in the garden. Verse 1. What sadness closes in between your eyes and mine today, my queen? In dew fall of our glance, they've come and chill like, oh, it is us, however, who despise a little, who pity them, for this pity's sake retire, to meditate, and by this means to achieve the power of redeeming them. He formulates lyrically this conclusion and sums up the whole, insisting finally on the value of the incident as a stepping stone to the ultimate, the star in the garden. Verse 1.
What do you say to lunch, Johnny?
Quote, here's the temple was a place of miracles, for it was the place devoted to attending to the wonder of the ordinary. Where is that place in your life? Why is it not here? 10 things were created at twilight on Sabbath Eve. The mouth of the earth, the mouth of the well, the mouth of the ass, the rainbow, the manna, the rod of Moses, the shamir, the stone-eating worm, the Hebrew alphabet, writing, and the 10 Commandments. And some say also the destructive temple was a place of miracles, for it was the place devoted to attending to the wonder of the ordinary. Where is that place in your life? Why is it not here? 10 things were created at twilight on Sabbath Eve. the mouth of the earth, the mouth of the well, the mouth of the ass, the rainbow, the manna, the rod of Moses, the shamir, the stone-eating worm, the Hebrew alphabet, writing, and the Ten Commandments. To refuse to listen to words of wisdom, life is forever whispering its secrets. Justice, love, compassion, the greater unity within and beyond all diversity. We are too busy to listen, too noisy to hear anything but our own foolishness. Be silent, be still, listen, and attend. Ten miracles occurred in the temple. To refuse to listen to words of wisdom, life is forever whispering its secrets. Justice, love, compassion, the greater unity within and beyond all diversity. We are too busy to listen, too noisy to hear anything but our own foolishness. Be silent, be still, listen, and attend. Ten miracles occurred in the temple. To refuse to listen to words of wisdom, life is forever whispering its secrets. Justice, love, compassion, the greater unity within and beyond all diversity. We are too busy to listen, too noisy to hear anything but our own foolishness. Be silent, be still, listen, and attend. Ten miracles occurred in the temple. To refuse to listen to words of wisdom, life is forever whispering its secrets. Justice, no sacrifice ever spoiled, no fly was ever found in the slaughterhouse. The high priest was never unclean on Yom Kippur. The rain never doused the altar fire. No wind ever dispersed the altar smoke. The Omer, loaves, and showbread had no defect. The people stood pressed together, but had ample room to bow. No snake or scorpion ever struck in Jerusalem. No one ever said to another, there is no room in which to spend the night in Jerusalem. Miracles are the ordinary, revealed in their simple splendor. No sacrifice ever spoiled, no fly was ever found in the slaughterhouse. The high priest was never unclean on Yom Kippur. The rain never doused the altar fire. No wind ever dispersed the altar smoke. The Omer, loaves, and showbread had no defect. The people stood pressed together, but had ample room to bow. No snake or scorpion ever struck in Jerusalem. No one ever said to another, there is no room in which to spend the night in Jerusalem. Miracles are the ordinary, revealed in their simple splendor. No sacrifice ever spoiled, no fly was ever found in the slaughterhouse. The high priest was never unclean on Yom Kippur. The rain never doused the altar fire. No wind ever dispersed the altar smoke. The Omer, loaves, and showbread had no defect. The people stood pressed together, but had ample room to bow. No snake or scorpion ever struck in Jerusalem. No one ever said to another, there is no room in which to spend the night in Jerusalem. Miracles are the ordinary, revealed in their simple splendor. No sacrifice ever spoiled, no fly was ever found in the slaughterhouse. The high priest was never unclean on Yom Kippur. The rain never doused the altar fire. Without deception, feel free to say, I don't know. When the matter acknowledge the truth and admit error, the boar is marked by the opposite of these. The hidden grave of Moses and the ram of Abraham, and some say also the pliers with which pliers were made, the archetypal forms of all creation. There are 7 characteristics of boors and 7 of sages. Sages do not speak before those whose wisdom and experience exceed their own. Do not interrupt another's words. Are not in a hurry to reply. Ask relevant questions. The hidden grave of Moses, although some say they are like the people of Sodom. There are those who say what's mine is yours and what's yours is mine. These are boors. There are those who say what's mine is yours and what's yours is yours. These are pious. There are those who say, there are 7 characteristics of There are those who say what's mine is yours and what's yours is yours. These are pious. There are those who say what's mine is mine and what's yours is mine. These are wicked. There are 4 kinds of temperament: easy to anger, easy to calm. The negative. If next to ants, working, but pick a favorite.
I'm calling.
But now the lesson has been taught that without justice, there can be no a shack. I should probably just zip it. Put a zipper over the lips and just zip it, because you would be like, yeah, John Kitover would accuse me of being a shaft right now. And I know this guy who's struggling financially.
We will at one point chat. That's good. Carter's late recovery is going to be quite a while.
God gave us righteous judgment.
Because I'm gonna just chill out here for the day.
So next one, I'm gonna sense now.
Watching his life and
They had no business to be worried about what the fuck you into the mind and the soul of the person. That's exactly also
shuffle as well, which is really cool.
yeah. Space Jackson, what's in it for black people? Nothing.
Still, I don't mind. Still,
Out of 24 days away.
In the dance and like we wanted to pass a law in the dance and this first event of his like we wanted to pass
Proposal would denote engagement. News of the marriage of a friend was,
Anatomy consciousness. Pranayama gets rid of physiology consciousness. Involuntary breaks. Yama and Nayama get rid of ethical consciousness. Voluntary breaks. Pratyahara gets rid of the objective. Dharana gets rid of the subjective. Dhyana gets rid of the ego. Samadhi gets rid of the soul impersonal.
pentagram dedicated to Henry Ford. In the year of the final force from the dawn of terrestrial birth, man marched as a American force. Man was the Lord of the earth. He made him an oil skin from the heart of a holy tree. He covered the earth therein. Man was the Lord of the sea. He controlled the vigorous steam. He harnessed the lightning for hire. He drove the celestial team. And man was the Lord of the fire. Deep mouths from their thrones, deep seated. The choirs of the eons declare the last of the demons defeated. A man is the Lord of the air. Arise, O man, in thy strength. The kingdom is thine to inherit. Till the high gods witness at length that man is the Lord of his spirit. The pentagram, dedicated to Henry Foreman. In the years of the primal force, from the dawn of terrestrial birth, Man mastered the mammoth and horse, and man was the lord of the earth. He made him an hollow skin from the heart of an holy tree. He compassed the earth therein, and man was the lord of the sea. He controlled the vigorous steam. He harnessed the lightning for hire. He drove the celestial team, and man was the lord of the fire. 3 hymns for man. At sea, as night hath stars, more rare than ships in ocean, faint from pole to pole, so all the wonder of her lips hints her innavigable soul. Such light she gives as guide my bark, but I am swallowed in the swell of her heart's ocean, sagely dark, that holds my heaven and holds my hell. In her I live, a most minute dancing moment in the sun. In her I die, a sterile shoot of night shade in oblivion. In her myself dissolve, a grain of salt cast careless in the sea. My passion purifies my pain to peace past personality. Love of my life, God grant the years confirm the chrism, rose to brood, anointing love, asperging tears in the sanctifying solitude. Man is so infinitely small in all these stars, determinate, maker and molder of them all. Man is so infinitely great. Three hymns for man. At sea, as night hath stars, more rare than ships in ocean, faint from pole to pole, so all the wonder of her lips hints her innavigable soul. Such light she gives as guide my bark, but I am swallowed in the swell of her heart's ocean, sagely dark, that holds my heaven and holds my hell. In her I live, a most minute dancing moment in the sun. In her I die, a sterile shoot of night shade in oblivion. In her myself dissolve, a grain of salt cast careless in the sea. My passion purifies my pain to peace past personality. Love of my life, God grant the years confirm the chrism, rose to brood, anointing love, asperging tears in the sanctifying solitude. Man is so infinitely small in all these stars, determinate, maker and molder of them all. Man is so infinitely great. Three hymns for man. At sea, as night hath stars, more rare than ships in ocean, faint from pole to pole, so all the wonder of her lips hints her innavigable soul. Such light she gives as guide my bark, but I am swallowed in the swell of her heart's ocean, sagely dark, that holds my heaven and holds my hell. In her I live, a most minute dancing moment in the sun. In her I die, a sterile shoot of night shade in oblivion. In her myself dissolve, a grain of salt cast careless in the sea. My passion purifies my pain to peace past personality. Love of my life, God grant the years confirm the chrism, rose to brood, anointing love, asperging tears in the sanctifying solitude. Man is so infinitely small in all these stars, determinate, maker and motor of them all. Man is so infinitely great.
Is your phone running hot for no reason, battery draining fast, getting random login alerts? That usually means someone...
If you have assumed a character beyond your strength, you have played a poor figure in that, and neglected one that is within your powers. Fellow, you have come to blows at home with a slave. You have turned the household upside down and thrown the neighborhood into confusion. Do you come to me then with airs of assumed modesty? Do you sit down like a sage and criticize my explanation of the readings, and whatever idle babble you say has come into my head? Have you come full of envy and dejected because nothing is sent you from home, and while the discussion is going on, do you sit brooding on nothing but how your father or your brother are disposed towards you? What are...
Rabbit is elect. Everybody listen to me, because I've been given the word of God.
He's fucking insane.
Well, have he's retarded, but have you guys read any books recently to prove you're not retarded? Or do you just use a free phone call app all day to sit here and just roast yourselves? Hello?
No, I am retarded.
It's the troll guy.
It's the troll guy. Well, it's good to know what you look like, James. You look like a 12-year-old fat ass with a beard.
Wow.
What I do,
Drop the hammer, James. Drop the hammer.
Speaking as of other things, if it is to be done skillfully and with...
Is that the guy that was the one that was claiming he was running for Congress or something at some point?
maybe, but he's just not like, he's not funny, but he thinks he's a lot funnier than what he is. He comes into the rooms.
My finger slipped on the move to audience. I don't know how. Sorry.
It's all right.
I'll take my last chance.
Sort of like John's pants slipped, I guess.
Wow.
Honey, is it a slow day at the call center? What's going on with you these days? Are you still here?
Yeah, it's a slow day at the call center. Yeah.
Wasting your time?
I was just waiting for you to show up so I could become wiser.
Well, did you see Andrew Petty, the guy that ICE killed? His parents said, they killed our boy. They killed our boy. No personal responsibility. Fucking around with a gun in his pocket, filming the fucking cops. Oh, fuck around and find out. They killed our boy. Get back to the call center, honey. I think there's some new calls coming in, new sales opportunities. Can somebody, well, Andrew, are you going to a party this Friday? Are you gonna go cruising? Are you gonna get punched in the face again because you're making passes at men at little private soirees? Hey, can I have a drink with you? Oh, I gotta go in Clubhouse all day and have a Does God Exist room? Because I'm retarded. Just like those other retards. What's that one retard? He's my favorite retard. It's the What Is God show. It's the God Gong show. What's that retard's name? Yeah, have fun, honey. Take care at the call center now. And Andrew, don't you gotta go clean a house? Aren't you like a house biohazard cleaner or something? Gotta go put your suit on, go clean up somebody's fucking, oh, you can't say retard?
No, you can't say that.
What about retardation? Can you say retarded?
Anyways, I'm glad to be here because earlier I was roasting Mahdi, that fucking faggot retard, and that faggot retard is the most talkative faggot retard. And I said, dude, do you ever shut up? If we were to make you the ruler and the leader, everyone would depose you because you're annoying. No one wants a highly talkative, or what I call a shap, a super highly annoying person. Do you guys want to work and be ruled over by shaps? No, of course you don't. No one likes a highly talkative, highly annoying person. It's a waste of time. Hello?
Justice. That was cool, man. What else?
Well, I don't know if you faggot retards ever pick up a book and just read a book as opposed to like thinking.
I'm reading a book right now. Yeah,
Oh, go ahead. Just read us like one page or even a paragraph to prove you can actually read a book. Hello?
I'm not going to.
That's because you're a faggot retard. The best thing, if I was like a hiring manager, the first thing I would do when I meet the applicant is I would pull out a book and say, go ahead and just read me one page. And then I would determine if that faggot...
That's actually pretty funny.
Yeah, I would determine if that faggot retard is actually intelligent enough to even read a page from a book, because what you guys don't realize is you faggot retards are sitting here talking with faggot retards all day long who probably can't even read a page from a fucking book. Also, they probably have shit on the crack of their ass, because it's my opinion that most people don't use baby wipes after dropping a drewski. I am complete.
I wonder what book he'd ask him to read. He's running for office. I think he'll feel like Mein Kampf.
That's right. I'm running for the Chicago mayoral race. Go to chicagomayorvote.com. It's funny that faggot retards start talking about Mein Kampf, as soon as they get challenged for being a faggot retard. Have you ever read the Book of John, Tim? Have you ever read the Book of Tim? Did you ever open the Bible and see the Book of Tim? I never saw it. Did you ever see it? I never saw it. Hey, CM, what's going on, buddy? You're going to go to a Flat Earth room today and talk about the finer things in Flat Earth? CM, you know what Flat Earth is actually like saying? It's like saying birds don't exist. That's how fucking retarded you are. Hello?
You ever seen that conspiracy that says birds are not real? That they're like a little tracking machine?
Yeah, you ever hear a Schwartz on a free conference call app say the Earth is flat? You ever hear that? And then these other faggot retards talk about how birds don't exist and shit. Yeah, that's what's up. Hey, CM, what was the last book you read, faggot retard? Let's hear it. Go ahead, tell everybody the last book you read. Actually, why don't you pull out a book and just read one page to us? Then we can prove once and for all that you are a fucking retard.
My favorite book is your. Is Andy there?
Good job, John. Dude, you should run for office.
You get all of like 3 or 4 write-in votes.
Do you live in Huntington Beach? John? I think he got his calling. He could have been a good carnival barker. You know what I mean?
Yes. John.
I really do. I feel like he's missed his call. He could have been like a carnival barker or like a barker at a peep show. Just calling people as they walk by, Like, Alistair, I do think you missed out on your calling, bro.
Imagine John, like, with, like, clown makeup on, right, sitting on that platform, like, heckling people at the carnival.
Or just, like, under the bleachers. Like, the clown from Howard Stern, I picture more like a clown, like, under the bleachers, trying to lure little kids over to him.
Dude, that was your calling, John.
Well, thank you very little. Many people don't know what their calling is because they are retarded and faggots, and vaccines do cause autism. If you have autism, you actually are retarded, people don't like that terminology anymore, but if you've got bad autism, you are retarded. And you can't actually function. You need somebody to succor you, to feed you a baby's bottle of milk to keep you alive if you are a autistic vaccinated retard.
You should be calling people bell-ends and twins, not
Andrew, shut up. Andrew, you're probably going out on Friday nights looking for twinks, but you're here on Clown House with a twinkle in your eye, you fucking faggot.
When you say twinks, do you mean Twinkies like Little Debbie's? Andrew, do you know what a Gold Star Twink is?
Well, would that be Roger?
No, a Gold Star Twink is like a virgin twink, right? Like they've never been deflowered yet, you know?
I can't believe you guys are calling Andrew a faggot. Oh my God.
You can't use that word either, Master. You can't use that word, buddy.
Yeah, use the word retard. You have to say that when you refer to Andrew.
Well, you shouldn't say that, honey. That's outside of your class.
Right, because I'm not a Christian, right?
Right.
Hey Andrew, why do you think Monty ducked out when he was like challenging me to give him an argument for God, and then he just
I don't know the pussy.
So Andrew, if all the Abrahamic faiths are underneath the umbrella of the one God, I don't understand why polygamy, is such a big deal, because in India, the Indian government allows Muslim Indian citizens to marry 4 women. Why in America can't we adopt Sharia law into our constitution and allow polygamy? Hello?
I just wouldn't accept that Islam is an Abrahamic religion. I'm sure Andrew would agree.
Yeah, I do agree.
That's not what the fuck. They believe in like Abraham, bro.
So what? Just because you believe it doesn't mean you're an Abrahamic religion.
Oh my God, please don't use the word faggot again.
They claim like descendancy or the same.
They have zero descendancy. They have no connection. They have 630 years after Jesus died. Some guy woke up in the middle of Arabia and was like, "Yeah, we're connected to them. We're related to them."
Middle of Arabian? Are you kidding?
Oh.
That's well said, Jim.
I mean, you could say that about Christians then as well.
I mean, that doesn't seem quite right. The reason you couldn't say that is because, like, at least the prophecies of the Old Testament are claimed. Jesus claims to like fulfill those, right? But there are no further prophecies. There are no further prophecies in the New or Old Testament that say, "Hey, by the way, after Jesus dies in several hundred years, this guy's going to come and it's going to be Muhammad," right? They don't. At least they can claim a connection to it.
That's right.
What do they point back? What do they point back to?
Yeah, but Tim, also the New Testament people are actually descendants.
What problem do you guys have with Christians?
You're okay, Master. Let's mute up, Bubba. Let's mute up. So the New Testament folks actually descend from the people of the Old Testament. So that's like you actually have some lineage there, some connection there. But you're not.
They're Jews. Jesus was a Jew, right? Jesus was Jewish. He was living in where the Jews lived. He was claimed to be like the Messiah, like the person that was like prophesied in the prior scriptures, right? Then that occurs. He fulfills the law, right? And then 600 and something years later, Muhammad comes out and says, "Oh yeah, I'm in those books. I'm all about that." But he's not in those books. He's not anywhere in those books.
Tim, you know what's funny, Bob, and I appreciate you for not falling into this, because CM and others do this. Is that it's like, if you want to make any distinction between Islam and Christianity, it's like, oh no. We got to keep them both the same. They both have the same problems. They both have, any issue when I ascribe to Islam, we're going to try to put on Christianity. It is very interesting to watch people do that. It's like, if you say, oh, there's something wrong with Islam. Well, Christianity has that problem too. It's like, well, I mean, come on. There's going to be some similarities for sure. I mean, Tim's not a Christian.
Andrew, let me ask you a question. I'm a baptized Christian, a black man. Hello? A black man baptized me at the YMCA in the pool. You don't have to crash out. It's okay. Hold it in. Keep it together, Andrew. I got baptized at the YMCA by a black man, and he laid his hands upon me and prayed the Holy Spirit into my body. And I'm just wondering, as a non-playable character Christian here on the app, a faggot retard who's so unartistic, he can't even update his fucking PTR. It looks like you got hit in the side of the fucking head with a baseball bat and that right eye ain't open no more. So do you think, you fucking faggot, fake Christian fucking retard who never read a book, all you do is hold stupid fucking faggot rooms with Bob and other faggots, and you guys never actually talk about nothing because you're just a fucking faggot? Was it a pen or was it a baseball bat? Isn't it interesting that Andrew doesn't like to be mocked? Do not mock our Christian leader and organizer here on the Clown House tent. Do not mock Andrew. How dare you? How dare you? I am complete.
I mean, Andrew doesn't really care about being mocked, right? That wasn't the issue.
Oh, then what was the issue? What was the issue? Why did he leave us? The grace has left us. Ah.
Look, you, John. Thanks for killing the room, dude.
Oh, thanks for killing the room. As if it fucking matters, faggot retard. What, your dopamine levels just went to your fucking tip of your toes, below your socks, faggot? Thanks for killing the room, dude. Bro, where's your surfboard, man? And when are we going to go catch some waves? Hello?
Let's see a doctor.
Is that a projection mirror moment? Do I need to hold a mirror up to you and say, try to read a book, faggot retard? You know the greatest doctor's a fucking book. I don't know if you ever read a good book. But go ahead, just read us a page from a book to prove you're not an illiterate fucking faggot retard.
You read it your fucking life. Little fucking Mickey Mouse books don't count.
Okay, this is a projection moment, where you'll have to prove scientifically you can actually read. I know you don't read Mickey Mouse books, but go ahead and just pull out any old book you got and just read a paragraph. Let's see how you actually can read. Oh! Now the room has really been killed. It's been killed. I killed it. That's what people say after they exit stage left and they say, how did you do it? And you say, I killed it. You see how that works, CM? That's the secret.
Are you on any medication?
Yeah, I'm on this thing called joy.
Well, it's not working.
Well, it's not working. It's not working for you, faggot retard. Faggot retard, it's not working for you because you're retarded. You're here talking to a fucking retard. You think I'm retarded, but you're here talking to a retard. What does that make you? At least some among them. Oh, you think I'm mentally ill? Is that a projection, though? How do you know? To make a statue needs skill. To view a statue aright needs skill also. Admitted. And I think... CM, this is me reading a book. Because I can prove I can read a book, unlike you, who is a faggot retard. So, then tell me, on what subject are you able to hear me? Why on good and evil? The good and evil of what? A horse, an ox? No, of a man. Do we know then what man is? What his nature is? That is the idea we have of him. And are our ears practiced in any degree on the subject? Nay, do you understand what nature is? Can you follow me in any degree when I say that I shall have to use demonstration? Do you understand what demonstration is? What true or false is? Must I drive you to philosophy? Show me what good I am to do by discoursing with you. Rouse my desire to do so. The sight of the pasture it loves stirs in the sheep the desire to feed. Showed a stone or a bit of bread and it remains unmoved. Thus we must also have certain natural desires, and one that moves us to speak when we find a listener that is worth his salt, one that himself stirs the spirit. But if he sits by like a stone or a tuft of grass, how can he rouse a man's desire? Then you will say nothing to me.
Big risk is building a portfolio with your name stamped all over it, and then acting surprised when a tenant, attorney, or a random creditor starts trying to take a piece out of you. Because the mistakes that hurt you the most are not loud. They're quiet. They don't show up on day one.
That shit's true. You rouse a man's desire, then you will say nothing to me. I can only tell you this, that one who knows not who he is and to what end he was born, what kind of world this is, and with whom he is associated therein, one who cannot distinguish good and evil, beauty and foulness, truth and falsehood, will never follow reason in shaping his desires and impulses, and repulsions, nor yet innocent denial or suspension of judgment, but will in one word go about deaf and blind, thinking himself to be somewhat, and then he is in truth of no account. Is there anything new in all this? Is not this ignorance the cause of all the mistakes and mischances of men since the human race began? This is all I have to say to you, and even this against the grain. Why? Because you have not stirred my spirit, for what can I see in you to stir me? As a spirited horse will stir a judge of horses? Your body that you maltreat, your dress that is luxurious, your behavior, your look, nothing whatever. When you want to hear a philosopher, do not say you say nothing to me. Only show yourself worthy or fit to hear, and then you will see how you will move the speaker. Now, when you see brothers apparently good friends and living in accord, do not immediately pronounce anything upon their friendship, though they should affirm it with an oath, though they should declare for us to live apart is a thing impossible. For the heart of a bad man is faithless, unprincipled, inconstant. Now overpowered by one impression, now by another. Ask not the usual questions. Were they born of the same parents, reared together and under the same tutor? But ask this only, in what they place their real interest, whether in outward things or in the will. If in outward things, call them not friends any more than faithful, constant, brave, or free. Call them not even human beings if you have any sense. But should you hear that these men hold the good to lie only in the will, only in rightly dealing with the things of sense, take no more trouble to inquire whether they are father and son or brothers or comrades of long standing, but sure of this one thing, pronounce as boldly that they are friends as that they are faithful and just. For where else can friendship be found than where modesty is, where there is an interchange of things fair and honest, and of such only? No man can rob us of our will, no man can lord it over that. When disease and death overtake me, I would fain be found engaged in the task of liberating mine own will from the assaults of passion, from hindrance, from resentment, from slavery. Thus would I fain be found employed, so that I may say to God, have I in aught transgressed thy commands? Have I in aught perverted the faculties, the senses, the natural principles that thou didst give me? Have I ever blamed thee or found fault with thine administration? When it was thy good pleasure, I fell sick, and so did other men, but my will consented. Because it was thy pleasure, I became poor, but my heart rejoiced. No power in the state was mine, because thou wouldst not such power I never desired. Hast thou ever seen me of more doleful countenance? On that account have I not ever drawn nigh unto thee with cheerful look, waiting upon thy commands, attentive to thy signals. Wilt thou that I now depart from the great assembly of men? I go, I give thee all thanks that thou hast deemed me worthy to take part with thee in this assembly, to behold thy works, to comprehend this thine administration. Such I were the subject of my thoughts, my pen, my study, when death overtakes me. Seemeth it nothing to you, never to accuse, never to blame, either good or man, to wear ever the same countenance in going forth as in coming in? This was the secret of Socrates, yet he never said that he knew or taught anything. Who amongst you makes this his aim? Were it indeed so, you would gladly endure sickness, hunger, aye, death itself. How are we constituted by nature to be free, to be noble, to be modest? For what other living thing is capable of blushing or of feeling the impression of shame, and to subordinate pleasure to the ends for which nature designed us, as a handmaid and a minister, in order to call forth our activity, in order to keep us constant to the path prescribed by nature? The husband deals with land, the physicians and trainers with the body, the wise man with his own mind.
I said that right there in the middle. There is. Yeah, I said that, but
It sounded
yeah,
like you're
there's
saying no blood on the curtains. How
no, there's some in the there's some in the middle.
No blood at all.
But no, there's some in the middle, which I just sent the picture. There's a little bit right there at the middle, but none where the floor is at the floor when it dropped. Yeah, none on the floor where it dropped. None by the floor on the curtain. Is it on the curtain? Is it on there?
There's blood on the floor. There's blood on the side of the curtain. There's blood on the right side curtain.
But at the bottom of the curtain, there's none, right?
At the very, very bottom, no. But the curtain isn't on the floor either.
Okay, but the curtain isn't touching the knife either.
Yeah.
So it's in the middle.
What is the point of saying they didn't confirm that it was human blood on some of the? I mean, are you suggesting it was an animal?
She's trying to bring doubt to support the narrative.
That was one of the things that she stipulated to. So she accepted.
She said that. So, she said she tried to kill herself. So I'm not even sure how relevant, some of these things are, if you get my drift, if they believe her stipulation. Now he's trying to argue against the fact that she stipulated to certain things, which is interesting, but I don't know how that cuts with a jury,
Wait, Lindsay admitted to slitting her own throat?
If she admitted to trying to commit suicide and jumping out the window.
When did she admit that? When she was under extreme duress, right? And they tried to actually counter that yesterday.
But that's what they stipulated to in court. So I don't really know how that would work on a.
Yeah, because she literally, when she was admitting to her jumping out the window, she told them that's what she was told, that she was jumping out the window. She doesn't have any memory of this night. You guys know that, right?
So Pockets, when she stipulated in court, she agreed to treat the prosecution's evidence as a matter of fact.
Yes. So that is what lawyers do when they try to.
So the blood evidence, she stipulated that it was a matter of fact. So
yes.
So that's where it gets confusing, because if you stipulate and you say that you accept it, now you dispute it.
No, you have to accept it in order for their case, in order for their defense to work. Reddington cannot argue this case without accepting the evidence that is presented. He cannot argue that without being criminally responsible for this crime. That you have to accept that evidence that she tried to kill herself. Otherwise, he can't do his defense. It's literally what Reddington said, that this is what he's doing. So you have to agree to that. They can't argue criminally insane or postpartum. They don't accept this evidence. I mean,
they can say criminally insane without saying she did it. They are two separate things. So that's where you're not completely right. He doesn't have to stipulate she did it to get a criminal insanity plea. You're doing a lot of work here on some facts that don't really matter or help support the fact that you're logically trying to prove your point.
Lawyers can't just say she didn't do it without having a reason why she didn't do it. Like, you can't just say she's innocent without saying she's innocent because of her pee.
They don't have to stipulate that she did it to say she's not guilty on the pleading of insanity in that state.
But so wait, so the fact that he's saying, okay, yes, we're agreeing that she killed these children, but we're going to argue that she did it and liable. Right. So they have to stipulate that she did it, correct? They have to agree.
No.
Yeah.
No, they don't. I don't fully understand how the law works, but they don't have to say she did it to claim insanity based on how their state laws are set up.
And the stipulation was to chain of custody, the blood evidence and fluids.
It was not
So that's
about
how like
it was not about whether she slit her wrists or jumped out the window, but they did not dispute that she did those things in court. You have to sort of you have to dispute them in order for the jury to even consider that something else happened.
So the bears the burden of the proving both that committed the crime and the defendant was criminally liable is the Commonwealth, correct? The jury is what defends that, is what decides that.
No, the prosecution has they're not discussing libel or perjury. It would be perjury in a criminal trial. That's not coming up. What the prosecution has the burden of proving that she did it, but in a particular case, they do not have the burden. If the defense doesn't dispute certain facts, then the jury will assume those facts are correct, right? So in other words, the jury, I believe, is going to assume that she did slit her wrists and try and kill herself and then jump out the window, unless they disputed it in some way. The jury will have to assume that because the prosecution has said she did that, and her lawyer did not dispute.
Got it. So does anyone believe that Patrick didn't do it, and have any theories on the timing, how it was done, and what happened?
my theory is they led to it because he didn't do anything to support her. So she's saying that she did. He said that she had to be told. I really don't know. I think the case is a crazy case. I think it's really tragic what happened to the kids. And I think in all the conspiracy theories, I think we're forgetting that 3 little kids lost their life. And it probably could have been prevented. Most likely could have. If people would have been more active in taking her concerns seriously. And I also think that the people who were treating her are culpable as well. They were not coordinating care. The amount of medicines that she was prescribed in a short period of time is like insane when you see the list.
Do you know how many doctors she had at the time? Because I know they list kind of how many medicines, but was it like 2 doctors, 4 doctors at once that were giving her stuff?
It was at least 3 or 4.
She was jumping around.
Yeah, for 13 different medications, I think. And I think they found 4 in her system, in her bloodstream, when she got to the hospital.
And, Reddington showed in court today a little wish jar that Lindsay and Patrick had of, like, the things that they wanted to come true. And, like, having a family was, like, very important to her. And for it to end like this is tragic.
Go to ChicagoMayorVote.com. We're ending this on the Lindsay Clancy trial. This is the John Kitover podcast.